how the trinitarios really started on the East Coast. I mean, you go find different information on the internet how they started. You know, saying how they started up in jail or against DDP and all this shit, which is Dominicans don't play over there on the East Coast, which is a Dominican gang over there. So I'm gonna tell you how it really started. You know, it really started back in the day, the time of King Blood and all that stuff. You know, we had a lot of Dominicans within the Lion Kings. But originally, when the Lion Kings were formed, it was mostly, if not exclusively, only for Lion Kings in the beginning, when it first started. You know, and on the East Coast, there was still that kind of a racial divide, even though we were all, you know, supposed to be standing up for the Latin people, between Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans. You know, we had one or two Dominicans up at the top, but they felt like they weren't getting that much attention to being promoted up within the ranks. You know, they felt like they were being mistreated, or they felt kind of like we were always going to keep them at the soldier level, that we were going to let them have a leadership role. So some decided to branch out, and they didn't go to Dominicans Don't Play. They decided to make their own nation, but they weren't going to have any friends. You know, they were going to be them against the world. So they branched out and formed the Trinitarios, you know, and their main rivals at that time was us, was the Lion Kings. You know, they didn't fight against GDP all that hard like they are right now. You know, they went after us first because they were jealous. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't no Corona. You know, I can't say 100%. You know why it was that when they had one or two Dominicans on there up at the top, but that's what happened. And look at how much they've exploded. I mean, they're all over the East Coast of New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. You know, they're trying to make a name for themselves right now. Me personally, I don't really care about them. Yeah, I've seen their YouTube videos messing with the Kings and shit, catching one on the subway, and then there's like 43 Trinitarios in the train, and there's only one Latin King over there, and they're over there fucking with them. Anybody can do that shit. But it takes a real man to be one-on-one, you know? Because I don't do that shit. You know, as long as you don't come up to me flashing your colors in my face or throwing hand signs in my face and saying, you know, fuck Lion Kings and all that stuff, I don't have a problem with you. We could ride on the train together and all that, you know, just leave it like that. I don't get why all these other people feel like it's necessary to walk up to a motherfucker and push him. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't doing nothing to you, and yeah, I got all my colors on, and I'm standing right there and I'm just going about my own business, you should do the fucking same thing and go about your own damn business. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You know, as long as I ain't saying shit to you, as long as I ain't touching your girl, as long as you ain't touching my girl, as long as you ain't saying shit to me that's negative, then we're good. You know, I used to be in the military. I did a little bit of time in the military, and I could already hear some negative comments. Oh man, gang shouldn't be in the military or whatever. So what? I defended my country, son. It doesn't matter if you're a gangster disciple or what. As long as you go in there with the mentality that you're going in there to defend your country, you shouldn't care who's in there, as long as they're doing the right thing, as long as they're acting right. And I went through basic, and we had 2 gangster disciples in my basic training. Now, we didn't fight in that shit, because for what? You're going to do something stupid like that and get locked up in jail for fighting? You know, when you only got to support that person for about 9 to 10 weeks, you're getting out. There's no reason to gangbang right there in the basic training. All you do is you concentrate on your training and get on. We weren't friends, but we did talk with each other, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't all that fuck gangster disciples, fuck folk, fuck Latin Kings, all that shit. We weren't talking about all that shit, man. Because in Iraq, none of that shit matters. Because who knows, if I'm out there getting shot at, he might be covering my ass. But if he's out there getting shot, I'm the one that prevented his mama from getting a folded American flag, you know what I'm saying? And that to me is better than trying to fight with that nigga. Because then he'll always remember that a king saved his life, or that a king watched his back. No matter how much hatred you might have for the kings before that, all that shit is gonna go away, son. Because he doesn't know me personally. All he knows is my colors. Just because I'm from a certain nation, that doesn't mean I automatically hate you. You know, I can see a Crip right now today. I'm not gonna say, yo man, what's up, cuz, none of that shit, fuck that. But I'm gonna let him be. Because it's not worth it to me to do something stupid and get locked up for 5 or 10 years when the Land Kings ain't supposed to be about all that. It's supposed to be a brotherhood, a nation of brothers. To look after our community, to protect our community. As long as he ain't fucking with no Latina, or he ain't fucking with, you know, my brothers, my cousins, anybody else, and he's just walking through, passing through, or being peaceful, I ain't got a problem with that. He can go do whatever he wants. As long as he ain't, you know, committing crime or doing shit in my territory or around me. Because I don't like that shit. I don't like people that be hitting on females and stuff like that. I don't tolerate that. It's not what being a king means. If you feel like you have to beat on a female, son, there's something wrong with you. But like I said, even though I've done a lot of things in my past, I've been blessed to never have a record. That's because you have to know when the limit is, and when to open your mouth and when to keep it closed. You know, if you're hot-headed and you act on your impulses, you're going to do something stupid and it's going to lock you up for life. And then what did you really gain? You know, if you kill somebody, if you kill them without it being self-defense, like if he didn't pull a gun on you, you just killed him because you saw him walking down the street and wanted to make something, make an example of him, then you end up losing too, you feel me? Because he lost his life, you created sadness for his family. But at the same time, if you get caught, you get sent to jail for 25 to life, and you didn't really gain anything much either. Because yeah, they might talk about you for about 6 months to a year. You might have some reputation on the inside, but you can never be free. You know, you can never see your child, you can never see your wifey. And I know everybody, when they get old, they want to have a wifey be able to die peacefully the way they want to. It might not always happen that way. Before I die, a bullet might catch me. But at least I know now I'm being peaceful, you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to see my old days while I'm still here, not on the inside behind some bars, you know? I'm trying to keep as many little brothers as I can out. And I understand it's not that way for everybody. Like I said, in Chicago, in the other video, Chicago is not that way. You know, you can't be peaceful around there because there's too much blood, there's too much hate behind that. You know, all that's generational right there. That's when you go back into history. Even in the East Coast, when they still talk about King Little Man. You know, if you don't know about that, then you should look that up. You know, nobody wants to be that way. I mean, you never want your family to know if anybody ever gets you, where your head is at. You know, so my focus now is trying to educate, explain what I've lost being a king, but at the same time what I've gained. So in the future videos, that's what I'm going to be speaking about. My next one, which is probably going to be tomorrow or a couple days from now, I'm going to tell you what I've lost being a Latin king. And also I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about the histories of certain things, of certain games, of alliances and rivalries, and the difference between the rivalries in the Midwest and why some Latin king sets are cool with some gangs in the East Coast. You know, because it's important shit. You know, you have to understand the origins and why, so that way you know what's going on today, why it happened. And forgive my English or if I'm saying some shit that doesn't make sense, man, but living in a bilingual household and shit, you confuse the words sometimes. So anyways, damn, I can't even speak. But keep on the lookout for those videos And if you got any requests of what you want me to talk about, put it in the comment section. I'll be sure to speak on that. So if you got any suggestions of what you want me to talk about, what you want me to shed more light on, me being a 9-year veteran of what I am, and seeing all the stuff that I've seen, and knowing all the stuff that I know, just go ahead and write that in the comment section. I'll make sure I make a video about that. And then these later videos, I'm also going to be talking about what I feel like we should be doing. You know, like I said, everything's in a case-by-case situation. I don't know what all your other Latin kings are up to, and I don't understand the politics of everywhere. Everybody's got different enemies, different places, different situations. But little by little, day by day, we can start changing that image around. I mean, we've already had a couple of leaders try to do that. Look at King Tone over there in New York. You know, he spread that positive image around on what happened. Who knows if the government really did set him up, or if he did slip up, you know, and thought, I'm gonna just do this thing one time and that's it. And that one time costed him a lot. He got locked up, and that put a bad image on all of us. You know what I'm saying? So just keep a lookout for those videos, and I'm gonna just hit you up with the truth. You know, there ain't no reason for me to lie. I've lost a lot, but I've gained a lot, and I'm still a Latin King, and I will always be.